How Big Ange won over Celtic fans and conquered Scotland. He's done a hell of a job. Decades of hard work have paid off almost overnight for this Australian. And it's easy to get the feeling he's only just begun. They stumble out of the Glasgow city's Gothic pubs, wearing cork hats, clutching inflatable kangaroos, and singing Live It Up. The 1980s hit by mental as anything. At the top of their voices. These weren't Aussie two-pot screamers on a Contiki tour, they were seasoned Celtic fans with thick Glaswegian accents, a brand new idol, and a long night of partying ahead. Gathered in George Square, and no seats were damaged, in the heart of Scotland's biggest city, thousands more drink and cheer on Celtic's latest success, into the morning while draping green and white scarves over statues of revered homegrown literary figures such as Walter Scott, Robbie Burns and Thomas Campbell. Their discovery of all things Australiana is in tribute of Ange Postecoglou, the son of Greek immigrants who fled a military coup in the 1960s and set off on a month-long boat trip to Melbourne with young children and no jobs to go to at the other end. Despite Postecoglou's coaching credentials at home and in Japan, this time last year most fans here had never heard of him. Just 8 months ago, some predicted it was about to end in tears. But he had always dared to dream even while those in the local soccer community around him suggested he should know his place in the world. Young Celtic support draped himself in an Ange Postecoglou flag on Saturday. He is now, in many ways, at home. Immersed in a city where the love for football runs deep. In Glasgow, it could be said Celtic now provides a sense of meaning and belonging to more people than the Catholic Church. It's not just a football club, but a cultural institution. Open to all and refugees welcome. You don't need to ask the fans what they think of their new manager. The mere hint of an Australian accent from a visitor will have them rushing to volunteer their thoughts. Club stewards and volunteers speak of him with great reverence. Postecoglou's passion for the game and fierce pursuit of success has breathed new life into one of the world's most famous clubs. We love Big Ange, they say. He's been so good. He's changed the club. He makes the fans feel part of it again. Young children proudly wear Ange masks to the game. Some, as well as mum and dad, drape themselves in flags bearing his image and trademark quote, "We never stop." Others wear replicas of the black woolen knits he chooses to wear over his matchday shirt and tie. Moments after his team lifted the Scottish Premiership trophy after a 6-0 demolition of Motherwell on Saturday. His sixth and most significant top-flight crown across 3 continents, an emotional Postecoglou let it all out. It is pretty hard for me to explain to people, but when you grow up on the other side of the world, this is what you crave, the 56-year-old said on the sidelines of packed Celtic Park, where 60,000 fans were still there almost an hour after the final whistle. I am passionate about football, I love it, but I happen to live in a country where they don't share that. They are passionate about other sports, but I have been craving this all my young life. The moment I got here I tried to immerse myself in it, it is what I want to be part of. It hasn't disappointed. Postecoglou is the first Australian to coach, let alone win a title, at a major European club. And the significance is not lost on him. While Celtic has now won 10 of the last 11 Scottish Premiership titles, they finished last season 25 points behind local rivals Rangers, and the club was plunged into chaos. He was mocked as Ange Postecoglou when his shock appointment was leaked to the Scottish media. When the club dropped 11 points in the first 7 league games, former Scotland striker Chris Boyd declared he had no authority, no backing, no support from the board and virtually no chance of being successful. Postecoglou might as well hand in his resignation and take himself back to Australia, he wrote in the Scottish Sunday. But now, after a 31-game undefeated streak, he is the king of his castle, the manager of the year and the top dog at Paradise, the home of the 134-year-old club. The achievement puts him at the top with a handful of Australian sporting feats on the world stage. However, it's the way he transformed the club, winning over its players, it's hundreds of thousands of fans around and his fiercest of critics that elevates his sheer impact. Postecoglou has given Celtic a style and substance while bringing order and strategy to the club's previously haphazard approach to recruitment. Furthermore, he has healed and revived a relationship with supporters that had fractured so badly. The world may have seen his achievements and simply not understood the full range of his talents and skills. In a way, it was perfect that he inherited a shambles, that he took over a team which didn't need fixing but transforming. A club that required a revolution. Fellow Australian Tom Rogic, who grew up playing in Canberra before spending the past decade at Celtic as an attacking midfielder, farewelled the club on Saturday. His career was languishing before Postecoglou turned up last year. This season he made Professional Footballers Association Scotland Team of the Year. The pair shared a warm embrace, with Rogic moved to tears by the applause of the crowd after he was substituted in the second. Rogic says he always believed in Postecoglou, and says it's nice to see that people on this side of the world are starting to take notice. He's done a hell of a job. Decades of hard work have paid off almost overnight for this Australian. And it's easy to get the feeling he's only just begun. And on that, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the